Rolling with the homies. Trollin with Gwen, and you already know the drill. On this show, we're going to talk a little bit about politics, maybe even a little bit about a religion, but we're going to talk about a whole lot of bullshit. Now, with today being pre-Juneteenth, or Juneteenth Eve, we're going to focus on one subject today, baby, and that is declaring Juneteenth a national federal holiday. Toot-toot! Okay, now I get it. It's symbolism. Yeah, I get it. It's symbolism. But it also means that somebody is listening. So this is like the precipice of us going into something else. See, my goal is for us to not only have what the Asians have, which is the anti-black hate crime, I also want to have reparations. So as a community, we need to start working towards that, getting legislation and start lobbying towards people whom are going to work on our behalf to get us our money. Because I want my 40 acres. I want my mule. I want my money. And my dad is actually a descendant, a direct descendant. My dad actually is, his family and my grandparents escaped off of a Jim Crow farm right here in raggedy ass GA. Down in, what was the name of the city, Daddy? Swainsboro, Georgia. We coming for our money, Swainsboro. Bitch.
My dad am from Dublin.
Dublin, Georgia. But y'all left from Dublin, Georgia, or Swainsboro? Or is that the same thing?
I'm born in Swainsboro.
Oh, okay. Either way, they escaped, and we want our coins. Okay? So that's a toot-toot. I appreciate President Biden, even though they ain't really doing, for at least signing the bill to put it in. But like someone else says, it really don't sit well with me that white people get paid on our holiday, but I'm going to just leave that shit alone. I'm going to let them get their money as long as we getting our recognition. Okay. So, scrolling along, minding my business, because again, I'm in Facebook jail. 2 more days to go. Toot, toot. I actually was on Twitter. And you know, I've talked about Candace Owens before and how much of a lowlife she is and how much I hate her. But let me tell y'all what she said today. Because I can't believe this nigga here. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on. This girl sat her black on Twitter, and it reads as such: Juneteenth is so lame, period. Democrats really need to stop trying to repackage segregation. I'll be celebrating 4th of July and 4th of July only. I'm American. Girl, if you don't still sit your stale $2 in a pack cookie head ass down somewhere, I am so sick of your shit. Somebody send this to her, because I am so surprised that nobody has touched this chick yet. I am so surprised. At this point, even white people are on her thing like, what is wrong with you? White right-wingers are even objecting to this. Like, what is wrong with you? Something obviously is wrong with her. It has nothing to do with segregation. This is the celebration of the emancipation of black people. She acts as if she's never taken a history class, and she acts as if she's black. Now, I get it. Sis, if you want to be ashamed of being black, by all means, do that. But please, stop acting ignorant. I am so sick of you doing what you feel like you need to do to appease white people. Hey, if you feel like you need to shit on black people in order to get your reparations, I hate that you do that, but get your reparations. My question is to white people. Tag them. Tweet this to them. Send this to them. Do y'all not think, are you guys not critically thinking? Are you not, I mean, has it not ever gotten into your brain that the only reason why that this young lady says the things that she said, and I can't even refer to her as a young lady. This ratchet piece of trash sits her behind on the internet and deliberately shits on black people, because it is a shit on black people, so that you can pay her money. She is actually capitalizing off of your bigotry. She's getting her reparations. Has that not ever went through your mind and said to yourself, maybe she's saying this just so she can get my money? Have any of you literally thought of that? Now, to me, it's genius. It's raggedy, but it's genius. She's getting her reparations by any means necessary. Do I agree? Absolutely not. But you all are making her rich because of your bigotries and because no one has canceled her yet. Now, black people can't cancel her because we're not her fans. Period. Point blank. However you want to cut it. Most black people hate her guts. And if they ever see her on the street, will probably take out her front teeth.
Right.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Come on, corner. Because that made me so mad today. Now, you know she wrong when white people start saying, I don't know. Because these people will absolutely fight for everything that they think is right. Now, if they taking up for us and saying something is wrong with you for objecting Juneteenth, you know you are wrong. My suggestion is delete the tweet. And anybody else who has an issue. And like I said, Juneteenth is a good thing. I believe Juneteenth is a great thing. Utilizing it and making it a federal holiday is something that they owe us. And yes, it is absolutely symbolism. I don't like symbolism for the simple fact that all it is a symbol. I'm ready for this country to start moving into a direction, to start giving back to what they owe us as a people, because let's speak facts. Had it not been for the free labor of my ancestors and every other African American ancestor in the United States, this country would not be where it is today, because the very free laborers is what helped us, this capitalist country, to become the monster that it is financially. I don't care how much they try to cancel critical race theories. Facts are facts. And speaking of critical race, white people have been out of pocket this week. Let's talk about critical race theory. I am too outdone. Let's talk about critical race theory, because white people, the audacity white people have had this week must have been on clearance. Okay, so let's talk about this. Critical race theory is basically white people trying to take out the aspect of racism as it pertains to history in America. And a lie, don't care who tell it. Okay, let's talk about this real fast. So basically, they want us to lie to children and say that race had absolutely nothing to do with slavery and that it was only an economic move. Well, if that were the case, then there would have never been a Jim Crow era, where they've intentionally kept us from voting, put us in financial positions where we can't get out of. My father, did I already talk about this? My father is a direct descendant from a Jim Crow farm right here in Georgia. And please, be mindful, we coming to get our coins. Swainsboro, Georgia, be ready, because I'm finna get lawyered up so my daddy can get his coins before he get laid to rest. Okay? My father and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles on his side of the family were all workers on a Jim Crow farm in Swainsboro, Georgia. Escaped. Okay, and I'm talking about the 1940s and 50s. So while people thinking this stuff happened 400, 100, no, it was happening well into the 1960s, 70s, and probably the 80s. Now, I did talk to somebody who said, yes, who said that he had a friend who was still working on a farm in Mississippi, Alabama, somewhere, and you know, Alabama, Mississippi, they're like the capital of racism. Anywho, my father and my grandparents and aunts, they all escaped off of a farm right here in Georgia in Swainsboro. So all of that is all predicated on race. If it were not a racial thing, you would have had all kinds of individuals that were slaves, white, black, Puerto Rican, Chinese, but to predominantly only have African people, African American people as slaves, it was absolutely predicated on race. Okay? Now we all know, and here's the other thing that gets me. They've had no problem for the past 100 years lying about Christopher Columbus. But now we are talking about he was a hero and he was this and he was a rapist. He was a murderer.
But they had Harriet Tubman sleeping with a white man in the movie.
I didn't even watch that movie. Do you know why?
Listen,
the young lady who
they
had
really rewrote history with that movie.
Listen,
like, they tried to make it seem like it wasn't what it was.
Exactly, and they love a lie, and a lie don't kill you, tell it. And I definitely was not going to see that movie because the young lady who played Harriet Tubman doesn't even seem to like black people. How dare you?
Right.
How dare you? How dare you place a young lady, a wench, in a movie who doesn't even like African American? Ain't even from here, girl. You don't even have the right.
I like her.
I don't.
She's from England somewhere.
And she had some little stank comment to say about African American women. I don't care. If you have something disgusting to say about black women, honey, you already on my shit list. Period. Because one thing about a black woman, every other woman on earth, our DNA runs through you. So if you don't like us, baby, you don't like yourself. And whether you like the cut whether it comes or goes, that's the reality. That's the fact. Black women are the mothers of civilization. You don't like it, you can. Okay? Okay. So let's get back to critical race theory because I have gotten off track. So the thing that I don't like is they're trying to take out the reality of history. And the reality is a lot of the things that happen, 99.8% of the things that happen in history are absolutely based on race. We could talk about African American culture. We can talk about the Holocaust. We can talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
But the American means white here.
Hello?
Why they separated?
Hello? They separated it, but
Right,
they want to
exactly.
continue to blame the separation on us. But can you blame us for wanting to be apart?
I'm not even equal with y'all.
I'm not even equal. It wasn't until a few decades ago we were 3/5 of a human being. But now we want to be together. You want to know why? Because a lot of you racist white people know that when black people rise up, we are going to take our rightful place as number one in the universe because that's who we are. Now, with that being said, I have a formal call to action from the Jewish community, from the Asian community, from the indigenous community. All of y'all need to be in this with us together. Do y'all want to relive the Holocaust? Does the Japanese community want to be put back in concentration camps? Does the indigenous community want to redo the Trail of Tears? No. Now, let me tell you the difference between your struggle and ours. You all have been compensated heavily for everything that you have done. And the audacity, the Jews were compensated and that disaster didn't even happen over here. Does that take away my empathy for you all? No. But what I am asking is every single community should be standing up on behalf of the black community, not only to cancel this critical race theory cancellation situation, but also on our behalf to get reparations. Because while we were in the fight for civil rights that black people fought for, now I ain't gonna lie, there were a sprinkle of white people and Asian people here and there that were fighting on our behalf. But we need entire communities to now stand up for a community who has stood in the gap for every other race. We fought for civil rights so Africans can come here, Indians can come here, Asians can come here, Japanese people come here, and the audacity of it all is that most of you are able to generate income and get money more than we can.
And think they better.
The audacity to think you can come to this country and feel like you're better than the individuals who fought, died, and were scared senseless so that you could come here and have a better life. And then no one even asked you to come here. Yet you're still, minus the indigenous people, no tea, no shade to y'all, and you're still getting compensated for being treated poorly in a place you never were asked and petitioned to come to in the first place. Am I the only one that sounds crazy too? I want my reparations. I want my money. And it's not free money. It is money that my ancestors diligently fought, died, and worked for. It's money that you and your individuals and your family have absolutely been able to benefit from. We want a piece of that. And this is a call to action for every single individual who has migrated here or had grandparents and parents that migrated here, that worked hard and were able to get the fruits of the labors of Black people who fought and died during these civil rights movements while you all just sat back and watched. To finally stand up and say, America owes these people the money. The same way y'all pulled that COVID money out y'all ass, that's the same way we want to get our reparations. Find it. I don't care where you got to get it from. I don't care who you got to borrow it from. I don't care who you got to steal it from. Black people want our money. Now, the one thing that people love to say about Black people in our communities, what they love to say when they talk about violence, what they love to talk about.
But y'all killing y'allself first, right? Like a black on black violence is the biggest thing.
And what's the first place they say? Chicago. Well, what about Chicago? And Chicago? Shut up. I don't want to hear another one of y'all talk nothing about Chicago, especially if you have not made a move to go help do anything in Chicago. You give Black people their reparations, because the thing about it is socioeconomics and violence are absolutely coincidental. You give people the money and the resources that they need to survive, it will absolutely cut down on crime rate. You stop taking people to jail, then once they get out, denying them a job that is going to give them lucrative income, you'll see a decrease in crime rate.
If you arrest as many white criminals as you arrest Black innocent people,
you'll see a decrease in crime rate. So I don't want to hear any of that. We are in a position now where Juneteenth has absolutely opened up the eyes, where finally America is saying, okay, yeah, we did something wrong. Okay, I'm glad you're recognizing it. Now we're about to delve into getting our coins. I want my money. We're about to start putting forth bills and legislation so we can get our coins. You want to get the economy back up and running? Give us the money. But this time, we're going to make sure that our business owners are the ones who are going to receive the major fruits of our labors. Give Black people a chance to thrive. You just let us in school a couple years ago. You're just now admitting that you've done wrong today. I need y'all to stop it. And yes, I usually have a couple different segments in my show, but today I had to just talk about that. And people like Candace Owens should be exempt from getting reparations. Since you want to talk so much about it, sign your waiver. You don't need the money. Continue to get your reparations from the white people who love to lick your behind. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for trolling with Gwen. Have a good night.
Trolling with the homies.